Ahrefs is a monster content marketing and SEO operation. If you haven't heard of them, you should. They're generating over 1 million visits per month through SEO, according to their own tool. And today in this video, we're gonna break down just how they do it, how you can take their lessons and port some of them into your own company. I'm Ross Hudgens, founder of Siege Media. We're a content marketing agency that just broke the 100-person mark. We work with companies like Shutterfly, TripAdvisor, Casper, and help them grow their business from zero to great numbers. Ahrefs in particular, there's many things that make them amazing. They're headquartered in Singapore. They've got an absolutely amazing tool for SEO and content marketing in particular, but they're also have done a good job of scratching their own itch and using their own tools to grow their presence through SEO. And there are many things that we can learn from what they do to also learn and port to what we do in particular. So before I go any further, if you're liking the approach of this video so far, we definitely would love if you just jam the subscribe button. We're gonna be putting out more videos just like this, breaking down the world's highest performers from an SEO and content marketing standpoint in the future. So for Ahrefs in particular, if you dig into their link profile, you'll notice around 50% of their links, or actually more than 50% of their links, come from product-focused pages. And the other 40% or so come from the blog specifically. So many companies will start their business and maybe they won't have a notable product and then try to do content marketing to lift the product. What made Ahrefs unique and also their content marketing efforts so successful is that the product was already great. The product already had gained momentum and a lot of links and traction, and then they started doing more deliberate content marketing, and naturally those things fed off each other. And the lesson for you as an SEO and marketer is effectively you still need that great product. Ahrefs is world-class product, and that fact has also given them a domain authority that lifts their other work. You can't not have this equation to have that full cycle of performance. And also it's worth noting, depending on your vertical, you want to see what you're competing against. If you're trying to compete with Ahrefs of the world, they have this additional weight of that 60% that is just their product in link equity and brand equity that allows them to just dominate like the smaller players that think they can rank for those queries. So if you don't have that additional firepower, you really should think product first. But if you have a great product to then augment the content, you're gonna generate even better return off that work. With that in mind, with Ahrefs doing such great work from the product standpoint, they also have that great content as well. So they've used that to then fuel that engine. They've got a great content marketing team, Tim Swallow, other people on their technical side. Patrick Stocks, I know, is very well regarded SEO as well. They've invested in that. And naturally that great product has given them the funds to fuel that very great content marketing operation. You can see how that compounds in terms of the return. But from that approach specifically, they're also world-class in what they're doing on content, not just from the product standpoint. So if we dig into their work on the blog specifically, you'll see a lot of things that they do in particular to stand out and get results. So one of the things that we see specifically working for Ahrefs that is high performing is when they ask questions. So for example, what is anchor text? How long does it take to rank? These queries have high link intent as well as good value for them from brand and product standpoint. And why that is often these have very common reference points in terms of a simple answer that people will link to in other supplementary articles. This in turn lifts the entire site. So if the answer to how long it takes to rank is 6 to 12 months, people will find that data from Ahrefs that they've used their own product to fuel and then link to that because it's so easy to do in reference that one point and then reference who it came from. You can see how this compounds. So if you can find these comparable topics that answer questions such as a definition or a single data point, and then build high quality content, ideally tied into your product to build that differentiated version of that, like Ahrefs has done in using their own data to give us that answer of how long it takes to rank, you'll be more likely to perform overall. And that ties into another very high performing thing that Ahrefs does, is they do product-led PR. So when they're not doing search-driven work, they're using their own product to fuel linkable assets. So you can see that in this piece in particular, they've done a great study that ties in their product. And what this does is actually not only build something that is going to get referenced and linked to a ton, but they're also building the reputation of their own product at the same time. And I see many people who do two things. They'll do search-driven content that sort of makes sense and is high quality, and then they'll do linkable assets. But the linkable assets themselves aren't tied to their product. And why that matters is the product-led digital PR is effectively only something that you can do as a business. So Ahrefs takes advantage of their specific competitive advantages with content, and that's why that is such a successful piece. Compare that to simply scraping the web or running a survey. Those are things that still might make sense for you to do, but if you can lean on those internal advantages, you're gonna build the compounding results that Ahrefs has with their content. Adding to their flavor as a content marketing operation, Ahrefs has a very high quality content experience. So if you land on their blog, you'll see they very commonly will have a very well done illustration above the fold. The column width in particular is narrow, it's easy to read and pleasurable to do so. They also build in things that are specific to them and their product in this content. I think this is a very important takeaway for this video is think about what is specific about you that you can build into your content experience. And for them, they actually will tell us how many links each article got. Obviously, they have the confidence to get a lot of links through what they do, but this really does help them rank better and also highlight their specific takeaways for it. Another thing they do very frequently that I like is just the light background on certain takeaways and editorial voice type areas that stand out and make for a higher quality premium experience. I think a 2010 content experience was often just a simple blog layout that looked okay. Now as things get more competitive, we're evolving to these differentiators such as better CSS usage to create modular blocks that look high quality, pull quotes, Ahrefs little sidebar, the author box at the bottom that they have that's very high quality and actually I heard was inspired by Siege's same take on the same thing as well. It looks nice and it's premium and it shows the credibility that their authors have in that section. Another thing that fuels Ahrefs' success is their blog index in particular. So if you go here and you scroll down, you'll see that they actually are thinking from an SEO standpoint to build the highest performing articles and put them higher in the architecture. It's best practice to try to get your best articles as few clicks from the homepage or otherwise the most authoritative pages as possible. So for Ahrefs, this is naturally their homepage, and for 99% of businesses, it is also your homepage. So in this particular situation, we can see by the kind of articles that are below the fold and linked in their blog index that are manually put there. These are SEO-driven articles, and that in turn will, one, get them more visibility, but two, also pass more value to them from a search standpoint, in turn helping them rank better and creating that compounding effect. Something I additionally like that Ahrefs does here is they star articles that they like. And I have absolute confidence here that these starred articles actually convert better for Ahrefs on average. So they're drawing your eye to those articles, making you more likely to engage with them, click on them, and they're probably very intelligent about knowing that these are more likely to drive signups for their very powerful software. It's a very smart thing to do and to take another level towards not just putting, oh, we need to link to things, but how can we actually create a user experience that also is gonna drive conversions for your business in doing this. Another thing Ahrefs does very well is solve for the SERP intent. So they have a great video operation and they will tie in video to their content and also understand SERP intent to know when video is necessary. So if we search for something like YouTube's SEO, one of the things our team frequently does is we'll see what is being shown there to tell us what kind of media formats we need for our content in order to rank. So you see with YouTube SEO, they actually rank in the video search results for that, but they're also ranking on the organic search results. And even if you can't rank immediately in the video results, this is an indicator you should have a video on your organic results. So if we click through to the video on Ahrefs article, you'll see that they're actually embedding their video from YouTube. And that's gonna do multiple good things. One is gonna drive up the watch time for that video on YouTube, driving more views on YouTube. But secondarily, it's also gonna make that a better result for that topic overall. They're very good about thinking about what the SERP intent is and including video when they know people want video based on looking at the results. And do this on desktop as well as mobile because mobile more often will have video. So if you ignore that very important SERP intent analysis point, you may miss when video is actually a very important piece of the equation in order to rank. And another thing Ahrefs does very well is they actually think about clickability with their titles. They have personality, they have a little voice, and also they're building things that are differentiated to have success overall. So some examples are they have 12 quick SEO tips. And this is actually real in terms of the kind of tips they offer. Most people don't want an SEO tip that's gonna say, go link build, because those tips will not drive immediate returns that they want. So Ahrefs was intelligent by using that title for their post. And another thing, what are good keyword research tools? They say that aren't keyword planners. So they know many people will reference this and that's already top of mind. They're thinking through the user intent to better give a more differentiated title that drives clicks for that kind of result. And other things that they mention as well is they'll distill things into a more basic version, such as not saying there's going to be jargon present here. And also they will also reference the very clear fact that they have unique data with things like how long it takes to rank on Google, because it is a study by Ahrefs. If you think about what can you include in your title that differentiates it, that should also be the same as what you have on your content as well. So if you can't think of something that makes your title clickable that's accurate, that's probably also an indicator the content itself is not differentiated enough to get value. So as you can see, Ahrefs has done a great job of understanding their overall media operation in order to drive results. They have the great product, they've invested in video, they're investing in great people on the content side. Because of that great product, it compounds to give them differentiated advantages that will sustain and if not grow their overall search presence. I'm definitely bullish on Ahrefs in the future, and I would expect their growth to only continue. So if you're an SEO and content marketing fan, follow them not just for their content, but for their product as well. So hopefully this added some ideas to your own mix in terms of the things you can do to improve your own results. If you like this video, please smash that like button, give us some subscribe, and hit the notification bell to learn more from us and hear more of these videos in the future as we break down more great content marketing and SEO operations to show you how they grow from the inside out.